This is OXDF looking at HoHo No from the Holiday Hack Challenge in 2021. Jack's trying to break into Santa's workshop, and we're going to block it with fail to ban. So there's a custom log type here, HoHo No, and we're going to look for new log entries in HoHo No. If an IP generates 10 or more failure messages, and it's pretty vague, but the first step, we're going to figure out what a failure message is. But 10 or more failure messages within an hour, then it must be added to the naughty list by running naughty list add IP. And you can see it lives in /root. We can also remove things with naughty list del. We can check if IPs are currently on the naughty list by running naughty list list. It's telling us we need to configure a filter in filter.d, an action in action.d, and a custom jail in jail.d. And then it's saying, after we configure fail to ban, we need to rerun naughty list refresh to resample the log file and reprocess it. So first step we need to do is figure out what a malicious log entry looks like, or failure message looks like. So we will cat var log HoHo no. Let's put it into head just to take a look. And we get some things here. And what I like to do when I'm starting to figure this out is just start to remove items from my output. So I'll do grep -v to remove. And so for example, I probably can remove, I'm putting a space in front of it because I don't want to get like unsuccessful, but success successful. Let's just remove that from there and we'll put it back into head. And I can probably remove valid. So what I can do here is if I come back into my grep and I do a -e in front of successful, and then I do a -e valid, now if it matches either of those, it's going to remove the line. So that's looking good. Malform request, I'll say that's probably a failure. Failed login's a failure, heartbeat's a failure. Login from rejected, that's a failure, I bet. Invalid heartbeat seems like a failure. I'm going to go ahead and start removing the ones, even though they're the lines I know are bad, I'm going to remove like malformed. Do that with a -e. We can do a -e on failed. We can do a -e on invalid. What's left? Rejected. I think we can get rid of that. And now there's nothing left. So now we know of these. I mean, it's possible that the word rejected appears in different kinds of log messages, but if I can, for at least a starting point, I can say there's these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of messages, and 4 of them look like failures to me. So we're going to try to capture each of those as we go on. Now, we're going to configure fail to ban to trigger on these messages. And so there's a KringleCon talk by Andy Smith here, where he talks about fail to ban and how to configure it. A configuration is going to consist of 3 files. The first is this filter.conf file. And you can see right here, it's going to start with fail definition, and then fail regex equals, and then on each line, we're going to have the different kinds of logs we're matching on. And we're going to replace host with this host mask so that it tells fail to ban what to pick up there. So, yeah, let's go. So what we'll do here is we will do, let's grab this line right here because it's already there. Copy. So we will do vim etc fail to ban filter, and then we will call this like df filter.conf. And so we'll start by putting definition. We got to reconnect. Did we connect fast enough that we have? Oh, no, we lost our terminal. That's annoying. All right, we'll continue though. Then, whoa. All right, that's not good. Reset, will that work? No. Okay, let's close this and get back into it. All right, picking up where we left off. Vim fail to ban filter d df filter.conf, and we come in here and we're going to start with definition, and then it was from the talk fail regex equals, and then we'll put this line, and now we need to say so we need to get rid of this IP address and put in a host mask. And the rest of that looks good. We'll add a $sign to mark the end of the line there. Not strictly necessary, but that'll work. Let's get the next log type. So we're going to be back to cat var log HoHo no grep. Can't remember the next one was malformed. into head. Okay, so will be awesome if we can remember all 4 of the bad ones without having to restart our analysis. Okay, so we come back in here, paste that in. Was that the full request? Was it truly just the IP sent to malform? Yeah, it was. Okay. So we will remove this and set it to host, to malform request, and that is the end of that. Let's get out of here. The next one was a rejected. Was it? I don't have rejected. I do have rejected. Invalid, I think, was one. Let's do that. I'm having a hard time. I'm already forgetting the last one, so we might have to do some analysis to find it. But let's copy this. Come here. Insert. Paste. Invalid heartbeat from that. So that's a host. That. And then this. We don't know if it's not always going to come from Charlie, so we'll just put dot plus, which means 1 or more characters in there. And that looks good. So we have login from rejected, we have malform, we have failed. I bet failed was the other one. That was it. Sweet. So we got all 4 of them. So let's copy that. Go back into our jail. Come back here, or not our jail, our filter, and paste that in. This 1 rows is 1 ors or whatever it is going to change, so we'll definitely want to filter that out, and then we'll want to change this to be the host mask, like that. All right, so we can do something kind of cool here. We can go back up to our greps here. If we grep on any of the 4 of these, so let's do failed, invalid. Help if I put the E, invalid, malformed, and what was the other one? Rejected. And we put that into a word count. We can see there's 4,198 logs that match that. We can use this thing called fail to ban regex. And so we pass it the log file, var log, HoHo no, and then we pass it the filter file, etc. Fail to ban filter df filter. I think that's right. We'll see if it works. So it's going to now apply that filter file, and it matched on 4,198 lines, and it missed on the rest of them, and that matches exactly what we thought we were grepping, so we feel pretty good that our filters are in place in the correct way. So the next thing we need to do is say an action, and so we can come up here. Let's see if I can find the slide for that. These action files, he defines 4 things. You can actually only need 2 of them, the ban and unban. Start and stop are like other things for what you want to do when it the first time it's run. We won't need that. So we're going to do vim etc fail to ban action d, and then it's going to be dfaction.conf. Same as before, it's going to start with a definition block. And then here, we're going to do action ban equals, and that's going to be root naughty list add, and then IP will be the mask we use to make it work there. Action unban equals /root /naughty list del IP. And that is all we need for the action. Now we tie these together with a jail file. Let's see if we can find it. It's probably right here. And the jail file is going to look a lot like this. We're going to have enabled is true. That's important because otherwise it won't run, like it says up here. We need the log path, the find time, the retry, the ban time, the max retry. So this is how long are you looking? How many, 10 failures within 5 minutes is what's going to trigger this. And it's going to trigger a ban time for 30 minutes. And then we're going to use these filter and action to point at the other files we already made. So we'll come back here and we will vim etc fail to ban jail.d/df.conf. And we'll come in here, and then now this time we're going to define something. I'm going to call it df. You can call it whatever you want. That's arbitrary. Enabled equals true. That's good. Log path equals var log HoHo no.log. Find time, they asked us to look over 60 minutes, so we'll do it like that. Max retry, so how many failure messages within 60 minutes, and the answer was 10. There's a ban time. It's not super relevant here. We'll ban them for 60 minutes as well, though. Not again for this challenge, that doesn't matter. But in real life, if you were blocking these, if you were using this to run IP tables and block them, you'd care about how long. Is there some period of time where you want to flush these out of your IP tables rules, or else you're just gonna be flooded over the years. So that's what ban time is. Filter equals df filter, I believe we called it. Did we put a dash in there? That's gonna be, see if that was right. And so let's go out and look. ls etc fail to ban filter d df, if there was. So what's important here is that inside filter.d, this right here, df filter before the .conf, is what I'm going to be putting in there. And so action equals df action, and hopefully I did the same. I didn't. Let's move etc fail to ban action d df action to etc fail to ban action d df action.conf. Cool. So now I've configured the three things. The jail connects the two, and if all of this works, we should be good. So we're going to service fail to ban, restart to clear the service out and restart it. And now that's done. And then we're going to run root naughty list refresh. And let's see what happens as it reprocesses the log. There we go. So we added a handful of IPs here to the naughty list, and we apparently got the right ones because the achievement unlocked for us. Fail to ban is a super cool tool. We've used it at Hack the Box. It's a common thing when a web server would fall over if too many people are brute forcing it at the same time, or if we want to just discourage that in general. It's a really neat tool. You can be very granular, or you can just flat out just look for requests. But you can say, oh, let's look in the Apache logs for anything that's not a 200 or whatever. You can really do whatever you want and put logic on. Okay, if this happens for a certain period of time, block these people for this period of time. And so it's just super powerful like that. It's very useful, and it's a great tool for defending your network as well. I'm gonna wrap up this video here, and I will talk to you next time.